Hello grade 9 American System, this is Mrs. Nancy, your chemistry teacher. Today I'm going to start a new section in chapter 7, section 7.2, ionic bonds and ionic compounds. The objective of this section is to explain the electrical charge of an ionic compound. First, please open your books, page 201. What is an ionic compound? It is a compound composed of cations and anions. Let's take an example. Table salt or sodium chloride. It is an ionic compound consisting of sodium cations and chloride anions. Why ionic compounds are neutral? Because the total positive charge of the cations equals the total negative charge of the anions. What holds these ions together? The electrostatic forces that hold ions together in ionic compounds are called ionic bonds. Formula units. First, a chemical formula shows the numbers of atoms of each element in the smallest representative unit of a substance. Let's take an example, sodium chloride. NaCl is the chemical formula for sodium chloride. Now, what is a formula unit? A formula unit is the lowest whole number ratio of ions in an ionic compound. So, for sodium chloride, the lowest whole number ratio of the ions is 1:1, which means 1 Na plus ion to each Cl minus ion. Predicting formulas of ionic compounds. Now I'm going to do sample problem 7.1, page 203. The question is, predict the formulas of the ionic compounds formed from the following elements: potassium and oxygen. Potassium, it belongs to group 1A and the charge is +1. And oxygen, it belongs to group 6A and its charge is 2-. So, we use the crisscross method to write the formula of this ionic compound. What do? We take the 1 and we put it next to the oxygen, and we take the 2 and we put it next to the potassium, so the formula is K2O. Because ionic compounds are neutral, then we don't put any charge. How do we name it? We write the name of the cation first, which is potassium, and we write the name of the anion next to it, which is oxide. So the name is potassium oxide. Letter B, magnesium and nitrogen. We do the same method. Magnesium belongs to group 2A, so its charge is +2. Nitrogen belongs to group 5A, so its charge is -3. We do the crisscross method. We put the 3 next to Mg and we put 2 next to nitrogen, and because ionic compound is neutral, so we don't put any charge. Its name, we write the cation first, then the anion. So magnesium nitride. Number 10A, determine formulas of the ionic compounds formed when potassium reacts with iodine. Potassium belongs to group 1A, so its charge is +1. Iodine belongs to group 7A, so its charge is -1. So we do the crisscross method and the formula is Ki. How do we name it? As I said before, we write the name of the cation first, next to it the anion. So potassium iodide. Letter B, aluminum reacts with oxygen. Aluminum belongs to group 3A, so it has a charge of 3+. Oxygen belongs to group 6A, so has a charge of 2-. We do the crisscross method. We put 2 next to the Al and we put 3 next to the oxygen. So the formula is Al2O3. We name it aluminum oxide. Number 11. What is the formula of the ionic compound composed of calcium cations and chloride anions? Calcium, it belongs to group 2A, so the charge is +2. Chlorine, it belongs to group 7A, so the charge is -1. So here we do the crisscross method. We put 2 next to the Cl and 1 next to the Ca. So the formula is CaCl2. We name it by writing the cation first, which is calcium, anion next to it, chloride. Determine the chemical formulas for the ionic compounds formed when the following elements combine. We have aluminum and fluorine. Aluminum, it belongs to group 3A, so the charge is 3+. Fluorine, it belongs to group 7A, so the charge is -1. We do the crisscross method, so the formula is AlF3 and the name is aluminum fluoride. We have sodium and oxygen. Sodium belongs to group 1A, so the charge is +1. Oxygen belongs to group 6A, so the charge is -2. We do the crisscross method. The formula is Na2O. The name is sodium oxide. Calcium, it belongs to group 2A, so the charge is +2. Phosphorus belongs to group 5A, so the charge is -3. We do the crisscross method. It's Ca3P2, and its name is calcium phosphide. Lithium belongs to group 1A, so the charge is 1+. Oxygen belongs to group 6A, so the charge is 2-. We do the crisscross method. The formula is Li2O, and its name is lithium oxide. Calcium belongs to group 2A, so the charge is 2+. Iodine belongs to group 7A, so the charge is 1-. And the formula is CaI2, and its name is calcium iodide. Properties of ionic compounds. Most ionic compounds are crystalline solids at room temperature. They have high melting points, and when dissolved in water or melted, they conduct electric current. So when dissolved, the ions are free to move about in the solution.